In this bulletin, illegally harvested sea cucumber confiscated. Vaccination authentication program to begin soon.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Atera Lendua.
Good afternoon, Fiji. The Court of Disputed Returns has dismissed and struck out the case brought by SEDELPA leader Viliame Ngavoka against party MP Moses Mbulitavu for alleged breach of party directives by supporting the national budget and Bill 17. Chief Justice Kamal Kumar made the ruling via video conference this morning. In his ruling, Justice Kumar stated the court has found that no directive was issued by the SEDELPA Management Board for its opposition members of parliament to vote against the national budget and Bill 17. He stated that in the event the directive was issued, it was not communicated to the members of parliament in writing by the parliament leader as required under section 16.3a of the SEDELPA Constitution. Justice Kumar further added that even if the board felt that there was such a directive communicated, there was no evidence furnished to establish that the defendant, Mbulitavu, voted against it. Ngavoka had sought the action against Mbulitavu for his seat to be vacated immediately for failure to follow SEDELPA directives. The Consumer Council of Fiji is urging universities to refrain from making statements which are incorrect or likely to create a false impression. This is after the University of the South Pacific last week claimed that it has been ranked in the top 10% of universities in the world. Consumer Council of Fiji Chief Executive Seema Shandil says USP's claim of being in the top 10% of universities in the world is misleading and overstretched at best.
For us, for Consumer Council, we see these kind of statements or this kind of claims as very misleading, because any organization which charges consumers for its products and services are, by making such claims are actually engaging in unethical practices, because, making such claims like unsubstantiated claims of exclusivity. This is seen as a marketing tactic to lure consumers.
Former USP Deputy Vice Chancellor for Research, Innovation and International, Professor Derek Armstrong, has also weighed in, saying the claims of the top 10% in the world is slightly controversial issue given the number of institutions surveyed. Meanwhile, the Acting Deputy Vice Chancellor Education, Professor Chito Vanua says that based on 20,000 universities globally, the USP position is that the ranking would have the university in the top 10%. The Ministry of Fisheries is wary of a group of people from Ba and Tavua who are illegally harvesting sea cucumber from Tabu fishing grounds in Tailevu. Director for Fisheries, Neomai Rabitu, says they're conducting a fact-finding mission and will soon be launching a monitoring operation in hopes of curtailing this activity. Kelly Vadala reports.
Some areas in the Western Division are now under the spotlight for the illegal activity as the sea cucumber ban is still in effect.
Particularly, there's a group of the fishers. They're traveling all the way up to Tailevu area, and they're coming from Ba and Tavua. These are the ones that we're concerned about.
The Fisheries Ministry confirms it recently confiscated tons of sea cucumber this week.
To refrain from any, alleged illegal harvests of this particular commodity, because we're still under the current the ban that's still in existence.
Turangani Koro of Fudi Vanua Verata, Level Timbua, says early Tuesday morning villagers caught a group of men fishing and harvesting sea cucumbers.
I was alerted to the two boats and we decided to go after them. They came all the way from Ba. They were diving for sea cucumbers during curfew hours and in our protected fishing ground. We contacted police once we caught them, but it looks like they were camping on an empty island and collecting their catch there.
There are fixed notices that will be issued by the ministry for such activity. Companies caught in the illegal act will be fined a maximum $20,000 and individuals $10,000. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Municipalities will soon be able to authenticate the status of vaccination of shoppers and vendors as they are currently rolling out the vaccine authentication exercise workshop. The workshop is the first of a series to formulate health first policies under the VAX program in support of the gradual rollback of some health restrictions. Permanent Secretary Communications Tupotua Baravilala, while opening the workshop for the Ministry of Local Government, says this digital Fiji developed tool will allow municipal markets to verify vaccination status in real time to ensure the safety of vendors and shoppers alike. Baravilala says the ability for vendors and eventually businesses to quickly verify vaccine status is the key to allowing for greater freedom of movement and association in Fiji. The workshop was also attended by Prime Minister Morenge Bainimarama, the Acting Permanent Secretary for Local Government, and CEOs and staff of 13 municipal councils. The Ministry of Lands and Mineral Resources continues to execute innovation strategies to ease the means of doing business and customer service, which will guarantee economic productivity. Minister Chone Sumate, during the launch of the online My Lease info service this morning, says the initiative will benefit over 18,000 lessees of state-owned land. He adds the portal will assist lessees who are finding it hard to access services that are provided at the Lands Department offices in various divisions across the country.
They'll be able to view their latest 8 financial transactions online. This enhances better monitoring of the transaction while referencing their receipts. Third, to view their latest lease statement invoice online. This can be downloaded and printed instead of waiting for their statement to arrive in the postal box.
Australia's biggest city, Sydney, announced plans to reopen its cafes and pubs in the second half of October after months of strict COVID-19 lockdown. The plans come as daily infections linger near record levels in New South Wales amid a spread of the highly transmissible Delta variant. And to our latest COVID-19 update for today, Fiji recorded 178 new COVID-19 infections for the period ending at 8 a.m. yesterday. 87 cases are from the west, 90 from the central, and a case each from the eastern and northern divisions. There are 5 new COVID-19 deaths reported in the past 24-hour period. Fiji has recorded 48,502 cases since April this year. There are now 13,362 active cases with 34,318 recoveries in total. The COVID-19 death toll now stands at 533. The vaccination campaign also continues around the country. 567,751 or 96.8% of adults in Fiji have received their first dose of the vaccine, and 320,520 or 54.6% have been fully vaccinated. The 5 most vaccinated areas include Ba, Rewa, Nandrongai, Naitasiri, which are all 100% first jabbed, and next is Nandi. And FNRL plan on 9s. Stay with us. Welcome back. Flying Fijians utility Josh Matavesi has left Bath Rugby for a lucrative deal with Japanese club Toyota Shoki Shuttles. The Fiji National Rugby League will start its competition proper at the end of the year with a 9s tournament. This will be the only competition that FNRL will have this year before concluding its season. FNRL Acting Chief Executive Don Natambe says having a full season of tournaments in 3 months will be unrealistic. He adds they will now focus on the 2022 season.
I know that I think having a full season this year is an untenable option for the league, and therefore we have lined up a few high performance activities with off-season events. So we're currently looking at a 9s tournament towards the end of the year, and after the holiday period, we'll resume with the pre-season opening as well.
Fiji football national coach Fleming Sheretslev has his work cut out for him as he prepares the team for the 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. With the national team expected to march into camp in less than a month, Sheretslev will need to assemble a strong outfit for the qualifiers. PGFA President Rajesh Patel says there's a lot of catching up to do.
It's a very short time frame for Fleming to get the national team players, but we are expecting to get an approval from for national team players to come in from 15th or 20th of September in camp.
Novak Djokovic is on track to winning his 4th Grand Slam title, all in the same year. A weak trough of low pressure lies just to the northeast of Fiji and is expected to drift south towards the country by tomorrow. Associated cloud and showers affects the eastern parts of the country. That's FBC News Now. Join us again for our 1-hour major bulletin at 7 p.m. And be sure to download the FBC app to access the latest in news, sports and live radio broadcasts from any of our 6 FBC radio stations. You stay safe and good afternoon.